Two.
Just a live index, then came.
Game, set, and match. A shot no gate. They're going to do it again. The Kanaka Million goes with and stays with.
Well, kia ora, good evening everybody. You're here with Boys Get Paid as usual on a Thursday evening, coming at you live from the Export Beer Garden studio. I'm Matt Davies and we've got Ed Patterson returned from Christchurch. You made it, mate.
I made it through, didn't fall asleep. It was a bloody awesome week down in Christchurch. Yeah, good to be back.
Good man, good man. Have you had a bit of sleep since Tuesday or are you...
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't managed to catch the vid, which is going making the rounds again.
Yeah, unbelievable. It seems like it's going around a little bit. One man who's managed to catch the vid from Rickerton, who is going to be joining us, the man of the moment, Luke Kemeys. Look at that waving. It's like, yeah, how excited are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, mate. Don't really get much external engagement, when you're locked in your apartment post-COVID. A bit of a change from last week, but I'm hanging in there, boys. I'm hanging in there.
You didn't just call in sick, mate. You're an absolute trooper. If I had COVID, I think I'd just bail, but you need to get on.
Those sick days when you're a punter, mate. Every day counts.
Have you had any rest since the week, mate? What a massive week. Like, is it actually to have COVID and be able to sit inside for a few days actually quite helpful?
I was actually looking forward to getting back into the office. But anyway, I slept about 4 hours on Sunday evening, and then I slept about 9 hours again Sunday night. I was a pretty knackered boy by the end of last week. And, I've had some good sleeps with the old COVID and not been able to get out of the house, so I haven't been able to do too much. So I'm feeling, well, once I shake this, I'll be raring to go back out there again.
Good on you, mate. Well, it's great to have you with us, and it's great to have everybody out there listening in with us as well. Hopefully we've got some new listeners this week after what the lads did down in Christchurch, bringing home huge amounts of money. My pocket's definitely fuller, so welcome to those new listeners who might be tuning in. Anybody that is listening in, we're giving away 4 $50 bonus bets, which unbelievably have come from last week's Punters Club. 4 $50 bonus bets for you guys to let us know who you think your best bet of the weekend is. Pretty tough times coming off the back of a New Zealand Cup Carnival and some rain hanging around and things, but get your best bets in the comments, and we're going to be giving those $50 vouchers, the proceeds away to Movember as well. So all that will be going to a good cause, but let us know who your best bets are so that we can all have a crack at them as well. But we will get to the racing this Saturday, but we've got a shitload to recap on from the week that has just been. Mate, Edgar, is your pockets fuller?
They are slightly heavier.
Yeah.
They are slightly heavier. Yeah, it was a good week, that's for sure. Wow, there was a lot of awesome moments there throughout the whole week, and it was sort of just, I reckon the nicest sort of vibe was that Wednesday. It was real balmy and nice and warm, and just that he's a doozy bet, kicking it off with just some absolute, scenes, really.
Yeah.
60,000 at 550. Wowee.
The best thing about that one as well was that actually it kind of built up over 18 hours or so when the bet went on. So it actually gave time to for people to really think about that and really look forward to that. Luke, you were probably shitting yourself for that 18 hours or so, mate.
Yeah, it was an interesting flight down to Christchurch, and it was good to get that one. As I think I said, we last Thursday, we said we're playing off the front foot after that, got home and won, which was pretty exciting. But it was just so cool to see so many people talking about it, and talking about it even on Twitter and just different social media, and then people following it and having a bet as well. And then to win and then go to the pub afterwards is some pretty special scenes.
For sure, mate. Last time we saw you as well, obviously He's a Doozy won that 330k, but last time we saw you live, Gold Star Carlito was running home winning 120k in the dogs. That was pretty good too.
How good was that? I think Edgar's going to call his kid that now. Outstanding performance.
Oh, really?
That blue rug.
Were you at the dogs that night?
Yeah, I was at the dogs. I think I was tucking into the buffet at some stage in that night. But wow, what a win! It was kind of funny though because my mate's sort of well, it's named after him, Gold Star Carlito. So he was like, he was a wee bit 50-50 about because he doesn't really get out the gates well out the box. So I don't know, he was a wee bit scared. But then the 40,000 comes on and you just got to roll with it.
He was in the trail. Is that what they call it in the dogs? The trail?
Yeah, I think he just hugged the rail near the end and just kicked through and cleaned him up.
Is this Carlito Shilfern who's been commenting and might have won some BGP kit? This dog is named after him.
Yeah, mate. Carlito.
Carlito, you dog. How good.
Yeah, what a beast.
Did you know that when the punt was going on? Did anyone have any idea?
No. Well, as soon as it happened, I was like, "You joking?"
Brilliant.
But that's cool to see,
mate. And obviously there was some more racing after last Thursday night. I think we had Addington on Friday with the trots, and then we had 3 races at Riccarton on Saturday. I'm sure we'll delve into that. But there was a massive one on Friday at the trots, wasn't it? We saw Fitzy going
Cyrus.
absolutely mad on the sidelines.
Big old Ruffy. It was cheeky as.
How good was that, Luke?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. $250,000 collect. When I saw that bet come through, I was thinking, Jesus, have they put the wrong bloody number here? But they know what they were doing. And it was interesting looking back. Like I think it's opened at 10s and they actually waited for it to drift because they didn't think anyone would be backing it. And they backed themselves and had a good crack. And I was at the pub watching that one, and I think kind of a lot of people were sort of tuned out by that time on the Friday and sort of weren't taking much notice. But I just had this sneaky little feeling about it because they'd gone sort of rough early on the Tuesday and then pulled it all back together again. We'd gone good on the Wednesday, Thursday again, pretty good day. And I thought, we can't be finishing on a low before we head into Saturday. And those boys just, pulled one out of the bag with that collect. And they were the most profitable of the punters over the 3 days, the old harness lads. So
is that right?
The harness code reigns supreme.
So you do like the Chariots after all, Luke?
No shit, no. Didn't go.
What's it going to take, mate?
Mate, Alex Park tomorrow night. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll see if I can get out of quarantine, see if they give me a pass. But no, it was cool to be able to spread some love across all those different codes, and like the Greyhound code. So thankful for heading along and being a part of it, and record turnover for them. I was having a look on course. I think they turned over 300,000 at Riccarton on Wednesday. We did 120,000 of that. Didn't even get a free bloody sausage. But the dogs are just texts, emails, phone calls, just so stoked that we were, that we'd actually go and have a good crack and sort of highlight their sport. So it's those little knock-on effects and things like that you sort of don't realise until you kind of pull yourself up from the week and look how much it means to other people. And even Mark Purden just saying how good it was, and even Mickey G's just been talking about the Punters Club across all the media that he's been doing since. And yeah, really, really awesome to see the ripples that a Punters Club can leave across the entire industry.
Yeah, you're a harness racing man, Ed, particularly from down south. You were pulling out some great content across the week. I think you were in Ashburton on Tuesday as well. Thursday, whatever it was. It's so hard to keep up. There were 5 days of racing. But the harness community really enjoyed that happening as well, didn't they?
100%. Yeah, there's a good bunch of people. And Zachary Butcher, he's always a hard case. And it was cool that, he was the one who got the lads home on that $4.80 pop, I think. And then, he's just such a good bloke. And the interviews that I had with him, he was just, crack up.
Yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. And then we also had Saturday, the unfortunate event. Edgar, I don't know. By the sounds of things, we might need Edgar to talk us through this. What was the deal, mate?
Mate, well, who knows, eh? Who knows? But obviously, up at the 400-metre mark or wherever it was, something wasn't right. The horses were slipping, and then as soon as I was actually in the bird cage when this sort of happened, and then I was like looking around at all the the usual people who were milling around behind the scenes, and they all just had this very somber look on their face, and I was just like, oh no, oh god, this isn't looking good here. And then I was just praying, and doing a few interviews with some people I bumped into, trying to get the hype going. And then after about an hour, they're like, yeah, nah, no good.
Not happening.
No good. So that was, after 3 races on, I don't think, 160 odd years that meeting's been run, and it's never been cancelled, or abandoned.
How somber was Ed looking during these times, Luke?
Well, I come to find Ed because I was sitting down with a few people having a few beers and whatnot and tucking into the day, and I thought, oh shit, we probably just want to get some comms out there and keep people updated what's going on our side. And I bumped into a young Ed. He was slouched over on some concrete steps. I said, "Are you right, mate?" He was just shaking his head. He looked very down and out. I don't know what he needed, but I don't know if he could tell us either.
Well, I just wanted to see Legarto win by 5 lengths, and she did. And she did all right on the Monday, which I was at.
What could have been?
It was a real shame. It was a real shame. But if we keep the positivity going for a time, Legarto obviously got her chance, and gee whiz, how good was that? I mean, I think we caught up last Thursday about it, Luke, and Ben was on the pod as well, and we were talking about it, just going, well, you know, this thing's not going to get beaten, and you guys had it in a power play, which unfortunately you couldn't punt on anymore.
Yeah, brutal. Terms and conditions of the Punters Club said that we had to wrap up the Punters Club for that Saturday, which was a big shame because I guess we'd sort of revealed what our punt was going to be. But the odds were still sort of there if people wanted to have a crack on the Saturday as well. There were a couple others that we were going to have a play on and really bet up on that final day. But it is what it is. But cool to see. Starry Beale was a bit like, oh shit, is it actually going to run top four? And only just run fourth, to be fair. So we got I suppose you don't know what the track would have played like on that Saturday too, but pretty special to see Legarto just absolutely demo them like we did to the bookies over the course of the week.
It would have won that bet would have won 250k. Like regardless of whether it was on Monday or Saturday, that would have happened. So there would have been another 250k. But Legarto, mate, Ed, you were on it. You were talking about it for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was good.
How good?
I was very nervous at the start though. She paraded $1 million. She looked so calm and chilled, and then as soon as she goes around to the start, I don't know what happened there. Someone must have jabbed her in the ribs, and she's like, "Hey, hang on a minute." And then she broke the bridle on her head, and then had to get a new one put on, and she wouldn't go on the gates. And then I was like, "Oh my god, you can't scratch a $1.30 favourite Legarto, can you?
No,
can you? I would have seen it all. I would have pulled my hair out if that happened." But yeah, she finally gets loaded in, and then once she's in the gate, that's all that really has to happen. As long as she doesn't stand there, she'll be winning.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Look, you've watched a lot of 3-year-olds in your time. How good is this Legarto? Like that, we know it's going to the Karaka Millions now. I see a futures market isn't out for that, but every man and his dog's going to want to get a punt on this horse. Like, how good is it?
Yeah, Ted messaged me not long after saying that she's going to the 3-year-old. So that's pretty exciting. We're going to get to see her go right-handed at Ellerslie and see if she, Pukekohe, see if she can put them away. Wild Knight will be in that race as well. So those are probably the two standout 3-year-olds for that age. But yeah, she was pretty impressive. I think she scared off a few others in that field. I think there's some quality in that field as well. And she just bet them up and just put them away. I think we spoke about it on a podcast a little while ago about Katie Lee, the grey filly that was just really, really good. And I think Legarto perhaps probably could have won that 2,000 guineas as well.
Yeah.
But, who knows? It was certainly very impressive. So hopefully she can stay sound and they can keep her going good. And we can just see how good she can really be because she certainly looks like she's got a massive motor.
There was a lot of wind as well on Monday. It was billowing down that straight, like pretty strong headwind, and she still ran home in like low 33 seconds at last 600. So she was bolting, and like barely broke a sweat.
Yeah.
So she's very good.
You don't see horses win that race like that very often. Like I went back and looked at some of these races. I think Aegon was in the 2,000 guineas, but like those horses are top horses. Have gone over to Australia and not necessarily set the world on fire, but proven themselves. Like Legarto's beaten them by 5 lengths, and I don't think anything else anywhere in New Zealand would have beaten that. And I don't even think it was at its peak still. Like it was incredible.
100%.
Yeah, mate. Very exciting.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting carried away. Like, that was pretty good. Should we move on from Legarto? Did you get invited around to Ed's parents for sushi, Luke?
I didn't, mate. I didn't get off at a sushi and a soy. But to be fair, actually, I think he said he would have had me. But we were pretty busy the entire week. There's a fair bit going on.
Yeah, bet on.
Yeah,
bet on.
I did get plenty of invites, though, throughout the week to go to the most randomest shit. I think once people have had a few beers, they're pretty liberal. I think the term is about what they'll invite you to go and do.
Did they invite to CGs?
Yeah, something about handing out some calendars with some girls or something. I don't know what that is. Someone wanted me to fucking, I'm not joking, wanted me to sell raffle tickets for the Methven fucking primary school or something. Like, it was unrelenting. I don't know how
You're a
much
celebrity.
time people think I have, but
You're a celebrity when you
sorry
make
if I
$500,000, Lukey.
yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, we could turn 230,000 into over 750,000, but I'm not sure I could sell you Methven primary school raffle tickets. But maybe next year we'll have a crack at doing that as well.
What's been the highlight, mate? Like, you've done a lot of these punters clubs now, obviously mainly centred around the Karaka Millions. You had a real good team around you, the GOAT, Ted, Matty Markham, Fitzy, everyone else involved down there helping out with all the content and stuff like that. Like, this one seemed a bit different because it was over 5 days and there was a good pool of cash and, you could get stuck in over a longer period of time. What was your highlight?
As always, mate, it's just the buy-in from the entire community, and to think you've got 4,500 people watching in some way, shape, or form, interested in what you're betting on, and then people sort of following in the bets, like the eyeballs that we can put on the sport. I always forget, like, just actually how important and how big that is, and then how many things come out of that. And every day you're bumping into someone just about everywhere we went that was involved or interested in the punters club. And I think we sometimes just put these punters clubs on thinking like, righto, a few punters wanting to have a crack, but then it's the content that follows and the engagement on social media, and then News Talk ZB are calling, the Herald wanting to do a story, and you kind of just try to do as much as you can to basically do your part for racing in what is a very, very sexy week of the sport. And I think it's just cool to be able to contribute in some way, shape or form from what really, I guess it just makes me always think a punters club is such a successful way to promote horse racing.
100%. You nailed it on the head, mate. There's not much I can say to add on to that, but it was a cracker week.
Yeah.
And everyone got some money, and everyone it was great to be a part of, and wow, let's do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to be continuing to do it again. I think just on that point, Luke, I think we were texting on Saturday morning, and you're right. There's 4,500 people that are following it. I mean, just one example of things, like my brother has never laid a punt in his life, would never, ever be able to follow his way around the TAB app, but he's punting now, like he's into it, and I'm sure there's thousands of other people like that. People at my work were into it, and these people don't have any idea about horse racing, but they're getting into it because it's young. It's generally young people. It's very exciting. You can make a buck or two. The content is outstanding. It makes people come together and as a community, but also, it looks like a lot of fun. The people that boys get paid are talking to are the future of horse racing, right? Like, you've done an absolutely amazing job along with everybody else that's been on the whole journey of getting this great group of people together that are seriously engaged. It's all very well having people following, but actually being engaged is a totally different scenario. I'd like, mate, hats off. It's unbelievable.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see a lot of younger people just tearing into it down there as well. But of course, there's all ages, and I'll read you something that came through on Tuesday. A bloke called Ross, he says, "I would just like to thank you all for a wonderful 5 days of the BGP syndicate of betting over Cup Week. It was very well done with all the links put in place. And as a 75-year-old pensioner,
wow,
it gave me a great thrill with the size of the bets with which I would never be able to do. Many thanks again to all of you." So you just don't know who it's touching, right? And like, if a 75-year-old can throw a bit of tin in, figure out how to get the app, follow the bets along, and have a good thrill for, the week. Shit, it's good bang for their buck, that's for sure.
Definitely. And even though we took a shitload of money off the TAB, do you reckon we'll get our Melbourne Cup gift packs from them at any time soon? Are they coming?
Well, mate, I'm in isolation, so I haven't been able to check the mailbox for a couple of days, but I'm sure it's probably down there.
They might have a get well soon cake coming to your door, mate.
Jeez, we're bringing some serious income through the TAB, Or at least we deserve his little Melbourne Cup gift pack, I reckon.
What are the chances, eh? It might be laced now.
Oh, yeah, true. I was listening to the last leg, the podcast they do on Friday with Thad Taylor. BP and Paul Moati were taking the piss out of him, the amount of money that the TAB were losing on the Punters Club, and everyone was getting right in behind it. It's all been in real good fun. So, yeah, looking forward to the next one, eh?
Bring it on, mate. Karaka Million in January. We'll be going again.
For sure. Can't wait for that. That's the next big one coming up. Ed, what are you're raising your eyelids at me, mate? What's going on?
Well, one week finishes and the next week looms.
Exactly.
Exciting stuff.
Right.
It just keeps going, this horse racing stuff, doesn't it?
It does.
It never stops.
It does keep going, and it's not the most if you're in Auckland at the moment, it's not the greatest feeling that we've had. About 1 million litres of rain this afternoon come down, and it looks like it's going to be like that all the way through to Saturday for Pukekohe, which should be a really, really nice meeting in theory. We've got the Counties Bowl, the Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, the Counties Cup, some nice 2-year-olds running around that I'm sure Luke's got his eye on for the Karaka Millions. But we're going to be working it out on a heavy track, aren't we, Ed?
It does seem to be looking that way. There's a bit of rain around the whole country. There was even thunderstorms down at Winton Harness today. So
really?
It's all over the country. Palmerston North, it's raining there right now as well. So, yeah. Are we in a cyclone or something? I haven't checked the news or what's going on here?
La Nina is the term, by all accounts. Yep, they've said it's going to be a very
Snazzy.
weird hot spring. So, mate, it's November. Surely we can get some sunshine at some point soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys had it in Christchurch.
Yeah, we did actually. It was pretty good weather down there. No rain at all.
Let's touch quickly. You mentioned the Karaka Millions. Obviously, it's going to be a big race day of the year. But there's obviously a 2-year-old race at Pukekohe on Saturday. So let's just quickly touch on that before we get to some of the stakes races. Luke, are there any in this race? You're obviously, hopefully, starting to turn your attention to that 2-year-old form, which is your real passion. You love it. Is there anything in this that you're looking forward to?
Well, I thought that Luberon was pretty impressive in its debut win, and just absolutely put them away against a couple of horses that have been spruiked in that field. I think Ted likes one in this race as well, so that's going to be interesting. I think that might be the 3, and we might touch on that a bit later. I think Ben might even like one in this race as well. And
I like one.
Yeah, and Ed does as well. So, yeah, that's the exciting thing about the 2-year-olds with no sort of exposed form, right, is that people get everyone's still got their opinion because we don't know how good these horses are yet. So I guess it's just going to depend how this track turns out on Saturday. Do we see any scratchings, for instance? But for me, I was happy with Luberon. I thought that was a very impressive win, and I'll be keen to see how Warren Kennedy goes.
Nice, mate. Ed, you mentioned you like one. You've got a futures punt on this horse for the Karaka Millions already. You're calling it early.
Yeah. Well, I just sort of, had a wee look-see. And I think Ted was pretty keen on it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Ethereal Star, the Forsman runner.
Yep.
Forsman's stable's going on bloody smoke at the moment, on fire. So, yeah, I mean, it looks to have ability going forward, and it was a good run. And obviously stepping up in an extra 100 metres, I think that'll suit as well. So I'm pretty keen at $31 and Crack Million to have a wee little nudge there, because if it comes out and it runs a good race, it'll probably come in and quote there as well. So, yeah, having a go there.
Good man. It's paying $5 at the moment. Luberon paying $3. I had no idea how to dissect this one because of the track, but I see Buccino, Brendan McCullum's in the ownership, which is a big point to highlight. Good on him. Good luck. Hopefully he gets a Karaka Millions runner, but also like the Teako horses at the top of the card. I thought Balance of Power was coming home well behind the Karaka Millions favourite, and an extra little bit of distance might suit. But yeah, I probably won't punt on this one, given it's going to be a swimming pool, and none of them have really raced a lot, so it'd be good to see how they go.
I think that's what Benny's counting on, the swimming pool factor, because I think he's keen on Chica Mojito, so that thing's won a trial on a heavy 10 and a soft 5, so it can certainly swim by the looks of it, and it could be cheeky enough at 12s and 3s.
I think he's made it his best bet as well, so good luck out there. It's going to be a tough one to win, eh?
He must have been talking to Ben Footlong, the trainer, or something there, because that's fairly rash from Benny, but I like it. How good.
Did you just say Ben Footlong? Is that Subway terminology or something else?
Luke's always ordering Subways, mate.
Right.
Yeah. I love a chicken teriyaki or chicken fillet.
Outstanding. Mate, lads, the one race I'm always really looking forward to, Levante won it last year, the Counties Bowl. Is a hell of a race, hell of a sprint race over 1,100 metres. Babylon Berlin is returning. Last seen in Australia. Bonnie Lass, who's got a huge wraparound that's running around on this. Dragon Leap's also back from Australia. And there's a few others in there like Let's Be Glam, who's in the market too. So, Luke, if you had a look through this, mate, are you just all on Babylon Berlin, or have you got some other thoughts?
Geez, this is, again, like, are we going to get a heavy track? Do they start Babylon Berlin? Like, probably can run on a heavy track, so they might have a crack. I think it's, if you know what's going to happen in this field in terms of scratchings and stuff, if anything's going to come out, then shit, you're going to get overs. Because, yeah, I mean, something like Dragon Leap, would that start? Bonnie Lass, don't know, would that start on a really heavy track? Same thing with Let's Be Glam. This could be a pretty small field by the end of it. I did have a Google of the weather before, just trying to work out how this track's going to play out. But yeah, I mean, where do you look? I originally thought Bonnie Lass, just been going so good, was very impressed with how Bonnie Lass came back and won, but on a heavy track might not be as confident. So maybe Babylon Berlin on top.
Undefeated on the heavy.
2 from 2, yep.
But a wee bit of a niggly wide draw, which is a wee bit of a concern. And Dragon Leap gets the blinds on, so that could sharpen him up as well. So it's definitely an exciting race. I think you'd leapfrog the other staying. No, you didn't. That's 1,400 metres. Never mind. Count me out.
Right. What are you on? What are you on with this?
I was going to talk about race 7. And you went straight to race 8, but that was because BGPxACC's back.
All right.
Ran last seen in Australia, but 1,400 metres is a wee bit of a concern. It was running in Australia on the staying races.
Okay.
But Heart of Gold is the one I wanted to talk about in race 7.
Who are you punting on in the Counties Bowl, mate? That's what we were asking.
In the Counties Bowl, Babylon Berlin.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm glad you've got a million other punts on the day.
Thinking about too many things,
That's
mate.
good. There's a bit going on there.
Cool story, bro.
Sweet.
What do you like, Natty?
We need you next to me here so you can just give him a nudge in the knee if he's bloody going off track.
Well, yeah.
What do you like, Natty?
No, good on you. Heavy track. Babylon Berlin's won 2 from 2, but I like 2 from 2 on the heavy, I should say. But I like Let's Be Glam. Let's Be Glam beat Babylon Berlin twice in Australia at Eagle Farm in the winter. It's a super, super fast horse. Although it says it hasn't won on a heavy track, the track at Eagle Farm that first time it ran a third, I think, on the 14th of May or something like that, was pretty wet. Like, that had a massive, massive rain shower come through, so they hadn't had time to downgrade the track. But that to me suggests that it can run. It's only carrying 53 kgs, so like at 480, I'd be happy to have a crack. Like you say, Babylon Berlin and Bonnie Lass have drawn 10 and 11, and they're both wanting to go to the front, so they're going to have to do quite a lot of work. Dragon Leap, yeah, like probably the most accomplished horse in the field, but I just like Let's Be Glam, 53 kgs on a heavy track. It's lightweight, why not? I'd be happy to give that a play.
I like your reasoning there.
And having said that, these are all going to the railway. Graham Richardson loves Bonnie Lass. He's talked about it massively. I think at the end of last season he was saying this thing's going to go to the railway. So like that could just be better than these. We don't know. It's not really been tested that much yet. So it's going to be a great race. If only it was a good track. It's a shame.
A real shame.
It's frustrating.
It is hard work, eh? BGPxACC is back, Ed. Is that where you want to go?
Yeah. Well, just that race, I thought it was interesting because we've got BGPxACC back and we've got Miss Cartier who's returning from a good run at the Valley, I thought. I think me and Luke talked about it. Was pretty much outgunned there and it really stuck on pretty well there. So, coming back to New Zealand, it's going to be a bit more experience for that run and a bit more fitness.
Where's Miss Cartier in that field?
Is it not in that one?
No, that's a different race, unfortunately, mate.
Nice.
So BGPxACC must be getting the win there, you reckon?
I'm looking at Dubai Diva.
Oh, Ed.
Mixed up.
Okay. Should we go to the race that Miss Cartier is in, the Auckland Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes?
Yeah, we can. Is that race 9? You tell me the race because I'm freaking out.
That's race 9.
Race 9. Here we are. Miss Cartier.
He's panicking.
Miss Cartier. Yeah, well drawn. Fuck, righto. Yeah, basically what I just said applies to this race as well, I thought. Oscillator's got some, respect in the market, 12s into 10s. If it's, gets that rain, then heavy stats are nice. We've got Jodelin Gals in there who's done a bit. Our alley cat, your mate. And Darcy LaBella, who just, she's a good mare. She keeps winning. It's a good race. Thoughts?
Absolutely. Luke?
Yeah, we've seen Darcy Labella nominated a couple of times and then scratched, and hopefully we see it go up to Auckland. I'd say like it's not going to matter on a heavy track for this horse. Could be against a few of the others, the heavy track, but yeah, you'd have to think that Darcy Labella 3.5 into 3.2, like everyone's keeping an eye on where it's going to start. I think they've probably got it ready to rumble. I've been pretty impressed by that malt time the last couple of starts, but heavy track going to be unknown. The one down the bottom of the book that I'll be keeping an eye on is that Silverina, which I think we've touched on a couple of times, and it's won a couple. It's going to have to be pretty good to put this lot away, but I don't think a wet track's going to be a concern for this horse, and you're getting 31, so I'm going to be back in the top of the book and the bottom of the book, and keeping a close eye as well on Lee Creer, but second up on a heavy track could be a bit off, but this horse is always there or thereabouts, Lee Creer.
Yeah.
So we'll be keeping an eye on where this horse goes through its campaign again.
I just checked. The rider of Silverina is Cosiasano, Luke. Have you managed to give him a free hoodie yet, or?
I'm pretty sure the goat was sorting it, so it's happening.
Good man. Good man. What a ride.
Cosiasano was on He's a Doozy, right?
Yep, was a doozy, all right.
Yeah. Outstanding. Outstanding. Yeah, Silverina, you've talked about that horse before. Yeah, I think I'm going to make it my best bet. Darcy Labella. Like, there's nothing else in that field that really is going to relish the wet conditions. I mean, there might be a couple that have won, but not compared to Darcy Labella carrying 57 kgs. It seems to be coming in pretty well, given it's been racing in some top races. So, yeah, I'd be happy with Darcy Labella. Adam, mate, have we got some comments coming through?
Yeah,
Producer Adam, what have you got for us?
Yeah, there's quite a few. We've got Leonard Storks just giving Luke and the BGP just saying you guys were sensational last week and bring on the karaka.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, there's a bit in here about you again, which I really want to ask you about.
A bit about me.
Well, like there is something from James McDonald who's asking about this airport security, and I want to know if there's a
James
story.
McDonald.
The James McDonald.
I want to know if,
James.
I want to know if there's a
Huge
story
fan.
in this. Is there a story in this, or is it just is there a yarn?
Oh, well, Tuesday, trying to get back onto the flight. I trying to get back up to Auckland, and I get to the security about, like a good 50 to 60 minutes ahead of time. I was there bright and early, and then get there, and the pilot's, like, getting held up. And I'm like, what the hell? Is a pilot being called up for some drugs or something? Like, they were staring at this pilot, like, pretty dumbfounded. And I was like, what's going on here? And then, anyway, it all started backing up, like bloody China traffic. And then, yeah, everyone was just standing there going, what's going on? And we stood there for about an hour, and all the flights got delayed for about an hour and a half at Christchurch Airport. Punishing.
Is this waiting to get on the plane?
Yeah. Yeah, I was freaking out. I was like, my flight's supposed to be leaving in 12 minutes, and I've got about 400 people in front of me. Sweet. But anyway, they held all the flights, and everyone got on their way.
Bloody hell.
There we go.
Never heard of that. I understand that the pilots have some issues. You wouldn't want them having any issues flying your plane,
I think what actually happened was that the security check thing, like the conveyor belts were all, capitulating and not working.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, but Christchurch Airport sorted it out.
Hey, speaking of run-ins with security, I forgot to tell this yarn on the podcast earlier on in the week, but I'd had a few shandies Saturday night and was celebrating the week that was, and was out with a few of the BGP crew and kicking into it, and we're at a favourite bar of yours actually, Matt, called Fat Eddie's.
Yeah.
So I went there to keep you happy, and I was sitting in this booth, and there was a few of us, and anyway, the cops came through.
Oh,
so, you
don't,
sort of sit up
don't do
a little bit straighter, And, but, we weren't that intoxicated or anything, so I wouldn't have thought we were at that much risk of getting kicked out. But anyway, this cop starts walking towards us, and I'm like, oh, far out, we are going to get binned. And he leans into the table and he says, BGP, go the lads.
Hey.
What the heck is that?
Unreal.
A policeman.
Outstanding.
I built different
The
down there,
community.
mate.
I'm very pleased to hear that, because I actually know someone that got arrested at Fat Eddie's on Saturday nights.
Can't happen.
And I can't say who it was, but yeah, they've obviously come in for a good time and to take some people home that might have been drunk and disorderly. But I didn't realise that happened in bars. I mean, getting booted out of a bar is one thing, but actually getting arrested at Fat Eddie's is a different level altogether. Did you see anyone get arrested, Luke?
Nah, I must have been gone by then.
Oh, mate,
Whoa.
that's good, eh? The cops they're putting their hard-earned taxpayers' dollars into the BGP Punters Club. It's outstanding.
Let them do what they want, mate. Go the cops. Good
Yeah,
people.
absolutely, mate. It's unbelievable. That just shows the level of interest that's going around, doesn't it?
Where were we? Pukekohe.
Speaking of level of interest, yeah, the Counties Cup. What's our level of interest in this, Luke?
Oh shit! I was about to say not much, but I've got a best bet in there actually.
Mate, we've got to keep the hype of horse racing going, even though the rain's coming and the fields aren't so good.
Yeah.
Got to keep it going.
No, bloody, actually, this isn't too bad of a field, this, and I think it'll be interesting to see how the top of the book, Just Mays, goes, and then I actually thought Self Obsession was a pretty good run on Melbourne Cup Day. I know we used a little bit of money in your tab account, mate, to have a crack at this horse, and I don't think it'll be, like I actually put a bet on a little bit earlier today, I think it'll go round on a heavy track and third up, shouldn't bother it. Charm Stars in there as well, coming all the way up from down south, but heavy track, I'm not sure. I don't know if they'll make the trip. And then Rapid Falls is in there too, but again, heavy track, not too sure how we go there. But then there's that Red Hussar, which is always floating around on a heavy track that doesn't seem to mind the sting out of the ground. So it'll be interesting to see who ends up in this field. I think as well there's Acquior, Cody Coltrane's, and I think Guy Havelt's got a share in this one, so he'll be hoping to pay for his engagement party or his upcoming wedding with that. But this is actually a pretty deep field, and I think you could just about back four in this race and miss them all on the day, depending on how the track plays. So I'd be pretty careful. I'll be waiting till Saturday to have a bet on this after I've just gone and said that I've had a bet already on Self Obsession.
I'm keen on Rapid Falls. I don't know if that's just me clinging on to the $50,000 bet this year at Crack a Million. But was it this year or last year? Jesus Christ.
It was last year. You liked it in its last start as well,
But
and
yeah,
I think it didn't run anywhere there.
No, it ran fourth. It was a good fourth.
Right.
No, it's good. It's lightweight and it can run on a heavy track. I'm following it again, 18 and 550. Get me involved.
That's good money, eh? It's like you say, you could come down to this race 10 on the card at 5:09. It could rain all tomorrow. It could rain again on Saturday. There could be thunderstorms around, and this could be a real absolute battlers race. So, Rapid Falls has got the
lightweight over the big long distance in a wet, slushy track. Get me involved.
That's it. So you could see something coming in paying $21 or $31.
For sure.
Well, speaking of $31, no loitering. If you have a look at this horse, doesn't mind a wet track. It's had 40 starts on a heavy track and won 5 of them. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind having a horse that's had 40 starts, let alone on a heavy track. But it's had 81 starts but
That is outrageous. I thought you were taking the piss there, but it's actually had 40 starts on a heavy track.
I've never seen anything like that. 25 starts on a soft track as well. That's incredible. 85.
We might want to check Love Racing.
Mate, how old is this horse? That's crazy.
He's only a 4-year-old.
I'd put $1 each way, and it's paying $31 and $8.50. Self Obsession is going to be really, really hard to beat there. Eh? The mare is one that you guys didn't mention that was running home quite strongly. Defibrillate, or Defibrillator, as G Lane would like to call it, at Shapiro's, where the whole bar got on it and the TAB shouted us chicken wings. The mare was second to Defibrillate that day, and Defibrillate had to work hard to beat it. I think it has one on heavy, so wouldn't be surprised to see that horse run another pretty good race third up. And Ballon Rouge, I thought was coming home awesome last start in behind Self Obsession, which is only over 1,500 metres. This is up to 2,100 metres, so it kind of seemed like that might really, really suit it. Like all of these races, there's so many that could win. They're big open fields at Pukekohe. Good luck out there if you're putting $1 on. Hopefully the rain doesn't come too badly. But yeah, it could be a challenging day. Anything else you lads want to sing out about over? I think we've got New Plymouth tomorrow, don't we? And we've got a meeting at Awapuni on Saturday too.
Yep. I'll just quickly touch on New Plymouth tomorrow because Ted's pretty keen on one. Race number 5, Balamio, $450.85. Ted likes it here. Good run on debut and has won a trial on a heavy track. There's a bit of rain around, so yeah, you could be shopping, a cheeky wee each way play there on Friday afternoon. And also interesting in race number 7, Waisaki's back, carrying about like 70 bloody kgs.
I saw that, 64.5 kilos.
Paying $15, thank you very much. But, any chance, Luke?
Gee, you got to love Waisaki. What a horse. That was very good to the community. Look, probably not first up with, carrying the weight of Taranaki on it. But maybe stick with Because in that race. Off the front, could hold on and win.
Okay, short and sharp. I like it. It is a small field, so anyone could probably win that one. But yeah, that's the Friday wrapped up. And Awapuni on Saturday. I actually like one here. Robbie Patterson barn. And it's by the name of Tazir. Not too sure how to pronounce it, but 9s and 3s.
What race?
Race 1 at Awapuni. Okay. First of the day. So the track might be sort of a soft by then, not too heavy. But the win on debut was pretty classy. I don't think it should be paying 9s and $3. Drawn wide and it gets back anyway, so could be having a nice little crack at them late. And it ran a sub 35 second on a soft 7 track, so it was bolting in and it won by about 2 or 3 lengths, eased down at the line.
Nice, mate. I see that lovely Chrissy Bambury's got a horse in there called Acting Up at good each way odds. Speaking of Chrissy Bambury, Sergio. I don't think we mentioned that at the top when we were talking about other bets going missing because of that. Awapuni got binned on Friday, didn't it? There was a massive, massive putt on Sergio. Mate.
Yeah. Gee, the bookies dodge another one there. It's a bit of a shame. Obviously, a few horses, I think, ended up coming out of that, so we sort of secured the overs by default with a couple of those scratchings, but I think the bookies didn't miss once those fields came out again for it going around at Hastings, and it won the last. The GOAT, as he said on the stream earlier in the week, was pretty shocked that Sergio was paying that much, so he wanted to have a good look at it and was pretty confident that it would run in the top 3, and we were doing pretty well by that stage, so he was keen to have a crack, but that's the way it goes. That would have been something to scream home at those sorts of odds as well.
That would have been amazing. I love I think you jumped off because you were too excited about Gold Star Carlito at the Dogs. But Ben and I were talking about it afterwards and going, well, surely how can you bet against Darcy LaBella? We thought Butler might get scratched, but then both of them got scratched, and it was sort of plunged into about $5.
Yeah, shit. We would have got some ultimate luck there. They didn't have a jockey nominated or listed for Butler, so you sort of thought, well, surely he can't be starting and he's got to be second favourite. But then when Darcy came out as well, it was just, I'd stopped keeping an eye on what that price was doing, but I logged back in and it was like $5.
Yeah. The GOAT, I think somebody did say that the GOAT had said that it will be $5 by the time it starts, so get on early. Loads of people did, and then it didn't run. So hopefully you won something on Sunday. I think it was paying about $3. $3, yeah, exactly. Oh, mate, it's one of those things. We could have had $334,000 more. All of those people that got 3 times their money, I think, probably would have got 4 to 5 times their money. But hey, there's always next time.
And one sort of interesting. I'm starting on a new point here, so I'm just going to alert you to. I'm just going on a tangent here.
It's fine.
Ballarat race number 10.
I didn't expect that tangent.
Detonator Jack on Saturday. Detonator Jack, G Lane. If you joined us on our Melbourne Cup Day punt, G Lane picked out Detonator Jack. I don't know if it's just his name or something. And it's running around again on Melbourne, not on Melbourne Cup Day, but it's running around again at Ballarat, race 10, 1,400 metres, carrying 60.5 kgs. But his win at the Flem, he's dropping back in class here at Ballarat. So he's a Kiwi horse. G Lane, is he getting on? Anyone heard?
That was the one where the poor bloke lighting up in front of him took it about half an hour to put his bet on, so G Lane missed out on Detonator Jack. Yeah. Gutted.
Unfortunate.
And how good was the clip from the ACC earlier in the week as well from Melbourne Cup Day with Benny Masters just absolutely giving it to Gold Trip in the Melbourne Cup. Some special scenes to rewatch.
Outstanding. It's been a big couple of weeks, I think we've got a few reasonably low-key weeks leading into Christmas, but then obviously building up to the Karaka Millions, there's some great racing all over the place. So, you lads probably need a bit of a sleep after last week and we'll get fired up again. But have we got any bets, before we get into our best bets, have we got any bets coming through from the community in terms of best bets for the weekend, or should we come back to that after best bets?
Can I just ask the community something as well? Is a tissue running at Ballarat or Kembla Grange? Because I've got no idea. Someone let us know. Is it running in the Gong, the big $1 million race, or is it running at Ballarat? Because it's nominated for both.
Yeah, okay.
And last time I checked, that wasn't scratched from either. Let us know.
We'll have to work that out. Have we got any bets from the community?
Maybe, but get them flying in now, because then we'll get a bonus bet on for you.
Yeah, exactly. So, mate,
I'll manage it.
all right, let's get into best bets and then we'll have a read through the comments. Adam, maybe you can help us out with some best bets that are coming through from the team. But let's get into the best bets for this weekend, lads. Edgar, have you got a few there that you're ready to call out, mate?
I can start the best bets. Yep.
Good man.
Ted, meeting code 2, Pukekohe Race 3, Vila Balmero, $4, trial winner at Ruakaka, winning by 3.5 lengths. And he also likes it in the Crack a Million 2-year-olds paying 12s. Punt IQ, no best bet yet, but there's a wee bit of word around for a 2-year-old filly, Sassy Boom, in race 3 at Ballarat, meeting code 12 on Saturday. It's won a jump out at Flemington, so keep that safe. The Goats best bet, meeting code 4, Awapuni race 9, Flower of Wanaka, $9 and $3. Needs the heavens to open up, but there's heaps of rain predicted, so it'll lavish in the wet. And then my best bet, meeting code 7, Timaru Harness, race 10, Obsession. Odds on it yet, but pretty close. Pretty good run last start on Cup Day, so should be getting the chocolates on Saturday afternoon in the last race there. Matty?
Good man. Did we get Ben's best bet or have we already...
I can run Ben's as well.
Yeah, do that, mate.
Meeting code 2, race 7, number 7, not swims. I think it's something Mojito.
Oh,
Chica Mojito. Haven't got it written down, but if it's going to be winning in a heavy 10 trial, then it's probably going to run a bold race, and he's against Ted in the best bet, so it's Ted and Ben going head-to-head on their best bets.
That's called Chica Mojito, number 7, race 3 at Pukekohe on Saturday. Luke, mate,
Beauty.
what have you got for us?
I'm going to go to Pukekohe as well. Meeting 2, race number 10, Self Obsession, $3, up to 2,100 metres to start. Third up now. Brilliant run last start, I thought, at a distance short of its best. So should be primed for this to triple our cash at the $3 odds, just like the Punters Club did.
Outstanding, mate. Outstanding. That's a great punt. I'm also going to Pukekohe M2 race 9. Darcy Labella paying $3.20. Wet track, winning weight, should handle it better than the rest of them. The only question mark for me is that it's going right-handed the first time. I don't know how much that matters. Surely Aaron Sherrick's not going to take it to a Group 2 if he's not too concerned about that. But, I imagine there'd be quite a few scratchings in that race, and Darcy Labella's just a pretty consistent horse, so really looking forward to that. Good luck if you're following us in on the weekend team. We don't have too much more to get through, apart from we're keen to know from the community, what are people's best bets? We've got some money to go towards Movember. We've got 4 $50 bonus bets to give away.
Yeah, so we have Caleb Schuker is going for, has to be on tissue. Surely, he says.
Tissue.
His father's a part owner, so he is very, very biased. But it did get the chocolates last time.
Okay, so...
Nowhere to where it's running yet, though.
Yeah, Caleb should let us know where it's going to be
where
running.
the hell's that thing running?
What else we got in here? We have...
I see Babylon Berlin.
Okay.
Greg Daith.
Yep.
Good.
Keen on that. And, Menangle Race 2, Taking Care of Business, Dominic Gray. Keen on that. How good.
Surely...
coming in. Precision Shooter.
Yeah.
Adam Scott.
At 650, wet track.
What a sicko.
All
Ruffy.
right. Well, thanks for getting your best bets in, people. Keep them coming in. We'll let everybody know who's going to be winning those. Well, it's going to go to Movember, like we said, but there's 4 $50 bonus bets to give away. So, looking to put it towards a very, very good cause. As we've mentioned a few times, last week was a very, very big week, but we do still have plenty to look forward to this season. Luke, I saw the cha-ching on the app today around the Karaka Millions. I didn't get a chance to read it, mate, but what's the latest? Where are we at? It's only 2 months away.
Only 2 months away, mate. We're still getting people involved for the race day at Ellerslie for us, so we'll be on course at Ellerslie. And if you want to come along and get involved, then you can grab a ticket via the BGP app. We'd love to have a good group of people screaming home some horses together, because we have the Punters Club going in full force as well. We might try and set up the old stream and go live for the entire day as well. So we'll be doing the Punters Club, a stream, and then hosting an event. So it's going to be a big old doozy in the Cuvée area of Ellerslie for us. And we'll be watching it all on the big screen and screaming home some winners together.
The Cuvé's the lawn, right, out the front of the stand, the really, really nice part of Ellerslie.
Yeah, mate, that's the one.
And we've got 1,000 people that can come. Is that what we've been given?
Apparently there's no limit on how many people can come, so we'll see. I don't know if we'll end up with that many.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll end up with that many, but we'll have a go.
Oh, please. What's the target for the Punters Club after this week? Surely we've got some new fans. We've got people joining. What are you targeting, mate?
I reckon 750,000 would be a nice number.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just turn a casual $2 million profit.
To spend on each race, and then a $100,000 multi on all 6 races should really bankrupt the joint.
Geez, that'll be a good day. I'm really excited about it. Hopefully, we're in the height of summer by then as well, and all these heavy tracks are behind us.
Have you got Fat Boy Slim coming? Have you organised him yet?
Fat Boy Slim. Oh, shit, we
have you
didn't
rang
hear
him up?
back on that, did we? Also, Rod Duke needs to pay Fat Boy Slim's bill to be there. Rod, if you're listening, mate, we'll invoice you for Fat Boy Slim's bill. Can you get in touch with us?
Speaking of Rod Duke, he's got a share in one going around on Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's called She's Outrageous. It's nominated for 2 races at Pukekohe, so keep an eye out. It's the last race and then a race earlier on in the day, maybe race 4. It's been punted in both races. I don't know which one it's going to start in, but it was a very impressive win last start. I'd suggest keeping an eye out and having something on whichever race it starts in on Saturday. Maybe back in both races, and whatever race it goes in, you're going to get a refund for the one it doesn't start in.
That's a great tip. That's great. Good luck out there, Rod. And you're right. Again, we're just a plea. If anybody knows Fatboy Slim, he is in the country at that time of the year for the Karaka Millions, which is on January 22nd. I think I'm going to see him at the Domain the week after. He must be here. He must play at Karaka Millions. It'll be the best day of his life. If you know him or you know anyone that knows him, get him there.
Just want to say there's been lots of comments here, guys. I think we've had a massive influx here, so it may even be the best thing that after that we put our heads together, and I guess it'd be best to for Luke to post it up on the page, let them know who the bets are for.
Yep.
But it's been a really, really nice influx of comments here, guys, so do keep them coming. And not long after the podcast, we will sort out those bets and we'll get them live, and everyone can get to see, hopefully we can get a winner home for Movember.
Absolutely. Good on you, Adam. Thanks, mate. Luke, we're going to probably end it there. Hopefully your COVID recovery goes okay. I shouldn't laugh. Is it something that you can laugh at now, or is it not? I don't know.
Yeah, you can laugh at it, mate.
Okay.
It's one of the only things that can make me stay at home for 7 days. I thought it probably would be a bit naughty getting out and about. So I'll get through it, mate. I'll be right, boys.
Good man. Good man. Ed, what about you, mate? Quiet weekend or?
Yeah, maybe weekend off the punt. There's not too many. There's not too many I'm keen on. So
okay.
Good weekend off.
Yeah.
Then back into it.
Fair enough. Well, if you're listening out there, team, thanks very much for tuning in again. Hopefully you won loads at the Punters Club last week. We wish you all the best on the punt, as always, this weekend. And we'll be back next Thursday night with plenty more content, plenty more races to come. So, yeah, have a great weekend, and thanks very much for tuning in.
Game, set, and match. Shut the gate. They're going to do it again. The Karaka Million goes with and stays with. In front, Delzeo, Lonro, but here's the calls now. He's coming. He's going to get there.